It's Monday. It's September 25th, 2023. I'm in this area. The currency, the monetary system looks like this is George Washington. On the back it says, "In God we trust." The front of this bill, on the back is the US Treasury. On the front of this bill, on the back is the White House. I mean, symbolic pairings of the area for which I'm in for paperwork that's easily accessible for the public. And that's the flag that they have flying in all of the like regulated institutions. Um, I'm having problems, several levels, but we'll just put it the most recent level, health wise. Um, my um, the RBC, which the red blood cells, the erythrocytes, are within normal range, but the iron, the ferrous iron, used for binding oxygen and for cellular respiration and so on and so forth, uh, was depleted down at the range that they gave me at the doctor's office, the professional medical office, um, where I use my Fidelis, um, is the range is 20, and that's normal. I was down to 2. I wasn't feeling well. My lips were turning a whitish color. They were not a normal healthy. I'm saturated in something, almost, it feels like at times like a blood poisoning, um, but I'm not sure by where. Um, Again, the FDA is supposed to handle the food components and the chemistry. But then, of course, there's supply chain, and I'm not quite sure who, by whom that's being handled. So, anyhow, that's again something that's in the back of my mind with ongoing, deteriorating, supplies and health. Um, my tissue in my lower extremities is swelling. I say it's almost like an alien tissue. It's nothing that my mother had to endure now she has it, but in the 50s, 60s and 70s they did not have this type of tissue. They had smaller, like, body mass index and weight scales. I don't know if they changed the chemistry of the food, of the antibiotics being fed to the food. I mean, I've heard lots of things, nothing that I can verify, but what I can verify is the end results in the tissue and the devastating effects on, um, whatever chemistry that they're using. It's almost like, I don't want to say that it is to experiment on the public, because I mean, I'm not actively participating in this. You have to eat, but it's just, it's causing these altered health effects. Now, and then there it goes to intent, like, are they purposely trying to hurt you or not? The area that I'm in New York, I'm in New York City, looks like a, if I'm the host or one of the hosts in this system, it looks like the parasites that have been allowed some kind of partnership with the city and with the government. Um, there's some problems in the health system at this moment. Um, I'm I went to the cancer center for the iron infusion that I needed, from the doctor that I trust, or I'm supposed to trust. I mean, again, it's really hard to trust humans at this point. I've been hurt so many times, especially within healthcare. And so, if Dr. Trotta is the doctor that I am to trust, then she sent me to the infusion center. I went for the infusion center with her um, um, prescription of an Injectifer. While I'm at the appointment getting the second Injectifer, the nurse informs me that the doctor prescribed something called phosphorus or PHOSNaK packet. And now I'm like, she, and then the nurse, and this is what's going on, because like I'm already at some kind of health problem. My mental acuity is a little foggy. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. And um she says something about Dr. Singh. And I'm like, who's Dr. Singh? And she's like, he's the presiding doctor for the infusion center right now. He prescribed a phosphorus for you. And I'm like, what's that for? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, probably with like the absorption or something. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I go, I fill it. And I'm thinking to myself, because again, I have community college, like NCC, local area, medical micro anatomy physiology. I took it twice, not just once. I updated it within the 10-year guideline that's suggested. Um, and it was with Princeton's textbook, Understanding, for which I got a perfect 4.0 in each of the classes. Um, so I mean, like, to not mess around, just to have like what the perfect system is. I don't have extensive, and I don't claim to have extensive disease experience or when the body falls out of balance, but I do know my own system, and I'm like, phosphorus, like binding agent. So I don't have my textbooks. Something happened with the place that I'm living. Lynn threw them out. So I go on Google, and as far as Google, which again is not like the authority that I trust necessarily, but it says it's contraindicated. And like this psychological torture of like not being able to trust the actual physical doctor realm in their polluted medical experiments that they're doing, like practice, they call it practicing on humans. I'm like, why do you need to practice? Haven't you gotten it right yet? Any of your people? Like anywhere in history? I know somewhere they actually have restorative medicine and preventative medicine. It's just somehow here they're allowed to get away with practicing on humans. So, anyhow, so it says Dr. Singh, Singh. What's the first initial? Prescriber S. Singh. That's all they give me here. So Cypress Farm puts in this phospho pack, and it's a contraindication for absorption of iron. So I'm getting this Injectifer, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and now is my doctor. I'm like, why is my doctor not involved in this process? How can a second doctor put in this like indicator that actually could put me in harm's way? I mean, like, how can my doctor protect me and the work that she does when, and I've already had trouble with a different doctor, Patel, first initial N, out when I was in Patchogue, which I didn't know at the time, but at the time out there, all of a sudden one of my blood results came back that I was anemic, and I asked for like restorative care, like what do I need to do? And his answer, like he literally just stepped aside and wouldn't give me any restorative care whatsoever. I don't know why. Um, and that went on for years until I was moved to Bayside. And then when I got to Bayside, then it's a whole nother set of problems with the parasites that have shown up. And like honestly, I mean, if somebody thinks that they have a treaty with these parasites, I don't know how. Um, because like if I'm the host management or like ancestor of the host of what is part of the US under this system with this flag, and I'm part of that ancestry, and if I keep getting harmed on the land in New York, where are my where are my superheroes? Like where are the ones who protect me? And how do I get word to them directly that I'm being harmed? And I don't know if it's one of the parasites that they have homeland agreement with, so it can be rectified properly and corrected, not just for myself, but for others in the public from getting harmed this way. Um, so it's a real concern at this point. I'm not taking it. I filled the prescription, but now I'm not taking it. I'm gonna call Dr. Trotta today at some point, um, and let her know that Singh like prescribed a phosphorus, and see what her thoughts are. Um, but also to let her know that there I am, like innocent victim, and like where's my protection from these parasite doctors that are not necessary. I mean, they're bound by something within the American Medical Association. I just don't know by what and by whom. Um, and if they like again, Judy had the same thing. Judy had cancer, but she was trying to seek treatment, and then whatever treatment they prescribed her in these inhalants, all of a sudden she just like withered away and rather rapidly, um, in frightening things to witness. And it's just like it's my grandmother again. She was a perfectly healthy woman, had 10 kids, like strong woman. And then all of a sudden through the pharmacy, like, and the pharmaceuticals, she's just started deteriorating away in this degenerative whatever. I'm also noticing at the bottoms of my feet, they're turning yellow, in a, um, in almost like a pooling, um, almost like if there was a bile, bile, of some sort, or some form of chemical reaction that my body's just, it's too heavy for like to get out. So I'm trying to lay with my feet up to give gravity the chance to move the fluid, because it's just, it's, I don't know what it's from. I don't know why, if it's just because I don't have enough oxygen. Again, my studies, and I don't have like a real academic, let's say, from an academy, like a principal that I can trust. I've got some Mickey Mouse sticker club of parasites that only care about business and apparently now football. I don't know. I mean, I heard the Italians through the grapevine, when I went to go to that thing that they invited me to, that while my mother, um, whatever. there's something about football and playing the 78s, and I don't know what that's about, but um, I do know that the bottom, the plantar section of my feet are turning yellow. The tops of them at times look almost purple, purplish, while the bottom almost looks like a yellow color. My legs are having trouble with um, just an increase in mass, and like having trouble catching my breath. It's not COVID, it's none of that. Um, but things like this that are contraindicated, like they're giving me an INJECTIFER because I need it so badly, and then to have somebody come in out of nowhere and prescribe me something that is actually known to not help the binding of iron to the cells. I don't know if it's a language problem. I don't know if it's a tribal problem. I don't know if it's a feudal problem, but I don't understand why it's allowed to exist in New York, and where the healthy population of doctors actually are to help the public that lives here full time. Again, it's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.